Arbitrage sports betting allows you to bet on both sides of the same game and make a guaranteed profit. But how exactly does this work? To illustrate an example, let's say the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders are playing tonight on Sunday Night Football. On the sportsbook Bet365, the Raiders minus 5.5 is currently available at plus 360, while on the books Bet Rivers and Unibet, the Broncos plus 5.5 is currently available at minus 300. So if we put $100 on the Raiders minus 5.5 and $345 on the Broncos plus 5.5, regardless of which bet wins, our payout is $460. In total, we only bet $445, meaning that no matter which team wins, in both situations we make a risk-free profit of $15, a nice 3.2% profit. There's also a soccer game tonight between Sheffield United and Everton, where I can bet on how many shot attempts this certain player named George Baldock will have. Over 0.5 shots is plus 150 on PointsBet, while under 0.5 shots is at minus 114 on Parlay Play. If we put $200 on the over, we'd win $500, and if we put $266 on the under, we'd also win $500. In total, we only risked $466, meaning our return, regardless of which bet wins, is $33, a 6.7% profit from one single bet. As we can observe, an arbitrage opportunity is present whenever we find two bets on different books where the odds for the underdog are higher than the odds for the favorite. Arbitrage is also possible when there are two plus money bets on opposing sides, like this Christian McCaffrey bet, where the over is plus 133 on Hot Streak, while the under is plus 135 on Barstool. If we put $100 on each side, we would make a risk-free profit of $33 or 14.5%. If you're new to sports betting and you don't understand what any of this means, you can use the link in the description to set up a free meeting with me where I explain everything to you in detail. Arbitrage opportunities like this exist simply because different sportsbooks use different algorithms to set their odds. In the US alone, there's already over 50 legal sportsbooks, with more opening up their doors for business every single month. At any given time, these sportsbooks are offering millions of odds across thousands of different games, all of which are constantly shifting due to complex algorithms. With all these odds simultaneously being calculated and offered, it's literally impossible for there not to be opportunities for us to bet on two different sides of the same game on two different sportsbooks and make a guaranteed profit. This is the basic premise of arbitrage betting. Arbitrage betting is very unique for a couple of different reasons. The first is that it's one of the only ways to make risk-free profit at such a high rate of return. The average return on the stock market is about 9% per year, but with arbitrage betting, we can make returns on our money of 3%, 5%, or even up to 70% in a single day. The second reason is that you don't need to know anything about sports or watch any games in order to be successful with arbitrage betting. We can simply place our bets and be worry-free, knowing that we're going to make money regardless of the outcome. You need to know though that arbitrage opportunities are exceptionally rare. For every 100 odds on a sportsbook, only about 0.5 of them are arbitrage opportunities. This is less than 1%. Additionally, arbitrage opportunities are short-lasting. Because sports betting odds are constantly moving, most arbitrage opportunities only last for a few minutes until the odds shift somewhere else. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can find these arbitrage bets using software and make a minimum $1,500 a month or more mathematically risk-free. Go down to the link in the description of this video and start your 7-day free trial of OddsJam Positive Expected Value Plan. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know the deal by now. OddsJam is a tool that allows you to make risk-free money by betting on sports. They have a large number of profitable sports betting tools, the arbitrage tool being just one of them. I have a full course on my channel talking about how I used their tools to make over $100,000 betting on sports in less than 3 years, but this video is only going to be about the arbitrage tool. The OddsJam Arbitrage tool looks for arbitrage bet opportunities across 100 plus different sportsbooks, scanning and reading in over 1 million odds per second in real time. Any arbitrage opportunities appear immediately on their dashboard, where you can see what two books the bets are on, the amount of profit the bet returns, as well as when the game is happening. In order to know how much money to bet on each side, just click on the calculator button right here and input any number you want on one side of the bet. It will then tell you how much you have to bet on the other side in order to return the profit listed. This is going to depend on how much money you currently have on that particular sportsbook, as well as how large your bankroll is overall. A normal amount for me would be about $300. So I input that on one side, and OddsJam then tells me I need to put $454.81 on the other side in order to make this guaranteed profit of 9.8%. Of course, you don't need this much money to do the exact same thing. Say we have $100. Type in 100, and we see that we should bet $151.60 on the other side in order to make this guaranteed profit of $27. You don't need to know any of the math behind this because OddsJam is the calculator that does it for you. It literally monitors almost every sportsbook in the world with odds that update in real time, meaning you'll never miss a single arbitrage betting opportunity. Are arbitrage opportunities sparse and will you have to compete with other people to grab them? The answer is no. This is not player versus player, this is player versus sportsbook. Just because one person bets on it doesn't mean that you can't bet on it too. It's simply who can grab it before the odds change. No matter what time of the day it is or when I log on, there are always anywhere from 50 to 100 plus arbitrage bets available at any time. As I'm recording this, there are actually 119 different arbitrage opportunities available. In my experience, arbitrage bets usually last 7 to 12 minutes before they're gone and replaced with other opportunities. So that's thousands of bets per day that are entering and leaving the dashboard. The key to arbitrage betting and the key to sports betting in general is to be signed up for multiple sportsbooks. Depending on where you live, there may be anywhere from 10 to 12 good sportsbooks available, and you need to sign up for and keep money on as many as you can. At any given time, there can be an arbitrage bet opportunity between any two sportsbooks, and you want to be prepared to take advantage of it. The winning strategy is simple. Just leave OddsJam open in one of your computer tabs and take a look whenever you have a chance. Whenever you see a good arbitrage opportunity, quickly log into each sportsbook, place the two bets, and then go on about your day. Most arbitrage bets are going to be around 2 to 5% profit, meaning that depending on how large your bankroll is, you can make anywhere from $10 to $100 per day just doing arbitrage. This may not sound like much, but it quickly adds up. Just $50 a day is $1,500 a month, which is a 87% profit margin after you subtract the cost of OddsJam. That's literally all there is to it, guys. Look at the arbitrage bet a few times a day and place a few arbitrage bets, and you can make a very solid profit. It's very, very important to track every single bet that you make. I personally use an Excel sheet, which you can find a template of in the description, but I recommend that you use the OddsJam bet tracker. Whenever you make a bet in OddsJam, click this blue plus button right here, verify the details, and push save. That's literally it. It will then be put into your bet tracker, and when it either wins or loses, it'll be shown in your statistics. So, if arbitrage betting is so easy and profitable, why isn't everyone doing it? In my opinion, it's mostly due to lack of knowledge about its existence. According to the American Gaming Association, almost 40 million people in the US alone have bet on sports in the last year. And I'd wager that at least 95% of them have never even heard of arbitrage betting. That's because this space is brand new. Until now, we haven't had a tool available to regular people like me and you that can literally scan millions of odds per second to find arbitrage opportunities, which is revolutionary in its own right. Now that we talked about all the pros and the good things about arbitrage betting, it's time to talk about the cons and the potential downsides. As with everything in the world, there's no such thing as free money without some type of catch. The first and most obvious downside is that sportsbooks do not like players to use arbitrage betting and will limit your account if they think you're using this strategy. Sports betting companies are in the business of taking people's money, and if they decide that you're winning too much, they can restrict the amount of money that you're allowed to bet, as well as ban you from using promotions like profit boosts and bonus bets. This is referred to as being limited, and it happens to every single person who is a profitable sports bettor. For example, this is an email that I got from the Hard Rock telling me that I'd no longer be able to use their promotions. And this is an email I got from Bet365 restricting the amount of money that I'm allowed to bet. It's important to realize that being limited doesn't mean that you can't withdraw your money or that you're in trouble. It's simply their way of saying they don't want you to play on their books because you're making too much money. Avoiding being limited is the single most important thing that you can do if you want to make long-term money as an arbitrage bettor. There are several ways to prevent being limited, all of which I discuss in my sports betting mini course and will also be making a longer video on later. Basically, you want to make yourself look like a normal sports bettor and not an arbitrage bettor. For example, we don't want to use amounts that make it look like we're doing calculations. If we have to bet 95-35 on something, use a more normal looking number like 95 or 100 instead. This is going to reduce our profit a little bit in the short term, but it will keep us from getting limited for much longer. The second downside of risk is canceled bets. Sometimes after placing a bet, the sportsbook will cancel it, stating that there is a mistake in the odds or that the odds were mispriced. If this happens to you, it's extremely important to then hedge your bet, or else you only have one side of an arbitrage open and you risk losing a lot of money. In my experience, this is rare and has only happened twice on PointsBet in the last couple months, but it's still definitely something you want to look out for. The third downside to arbitrage betting is that you need a little bit of money to start out with. The more money you have, the better, but in general, I would say the minimum is around $2,000. Anything less than this and it's going to be harder to make a good profit. If money isn't an issue, then I would recommend about $5,000 to start with, depending on how many sportsbooks are legal in your area. If this video has sparked your interest in arbitrage betting, my advice would be click that link in the description, get your free trial, and start as soon as possible. Sportsbooks won't be allowing this forever, and as they get smarter, they'll be taking more steps to limit winning players just like us. After the free trial, OddsJam is $200 a month, which might seem expensive, but honestly is nothing compared to how much value it provides as a sports betting tool. $200 a month when you divide it is only $6 a day. Last year I averaged $75 of profit per day, so I'm more than happy to pay that $6 for the website that makes this possible in the first place. Of course, you can always just use it for 7 days and then cancel if you just want to check it out. I was actually able to make $5,000, more than enough to cover the cost of the first month, in my first 30 days of betting with OddsJam, which you can learn about in my video about bonus bet converting.